Welcome to Head Wrecked, the show where we discuss the things that have wrecked our heads this week and try to make sense of it all. I'm your host, JB, and with me as always is CT. If you want to get
What's
involved in the
happening?
conversation, yeah, what's happening? If you want to get involved in the conversation, shoot us an email. It is headiswrecked@gmail.com. You can get us on Twitter at head_wrecked and on the Insta at head_wrecked. And I want to bring up the topic of washing hands. So through COVID, we learned how to wash our hands apparently, and keep ourselves nice and clean and neat. And how do you feel about that, CD?
I think it's very important for hygiene to wash your hands.
Good,
Um,
good.
there's just one part of it that always, when I think about it, I overthink about it, and it
Right.
doesn't make any sense, and it's a bit disgusting. I get a bit disgusted by it,
Okay.
and so it's purely. I think it's only be pertinent to the male population of the country, but
Right.
right, it's if I go to a urinal or a urinal, which I never know which is the correct pronunciation. Is it urinal or
I say
urinal?
urinal, but
Urinal, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
say
about
that's
it. Yeah,
urinal.
yeah,
Yeah. Urinal. 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 If I go to one of them in, let's say, a shopping center, right?
yeah.
And let's say it's a good day and I've had a shower. Yeah.
So it's only ever a good day if you've had a shower. Go on.
Like,
Right.
no, I mean that. And I go in there and maybe I only had it's 10 o'clock in the morning, so I've been up for about 2 hours. I had a shower at 8 o'clock, and I go in there and I'm in the shopping center. I have to use the public bathroom in there, right?
Yeah.
I can make it in and out of that bathroom without washing my hands. The only thing I'd have to touch would be potentially the only thing that I know would be dirty would be potentially the door going in there.
I thought you were going to say the only thing I have to touch potentially would be my penis.
No, I would have to touch that. I definitely have to touch
But
it.
not
But I know,
necessarily. You don't always have to.
okay,
Go
I
on.
don't have to. But the thing is, I know that that's clean because I fucking cleaned it this morning. I know it's clean. What things I don't know in that bathroom are clean.
You gave it a
Actually,
good old scrubbing
actually,
that morning.
the thing I 100% know for a fact is not clean. And the shopping center, let's say the shopping center's been open since 9 o'clock. There's been 1 hour of lads going in there, touching their Mickeys, and then going straight over and putting their hands on that tap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
hasn't been done. It's
I
the
know.
truth.
I know. I see a logic. Right. Public toilets, like, no matter what, they always stink. They stink. They're disgusting. Uh, I get your logic, but I feel when I go to a bathroom like that, that I need to wash my hands after I come out. Because I
Yeah,
hate
I have to
to
come out. Yeah, no, yeah.
sometimes I wait until someone comes in so I can zip out. As in, I'm not leering over the door, like hiding behind it, but like, because I don't want to touch the handle because I'm like,
Yeah, the handles are disgusting.
the
Like,
dryers are gross because that's just recirculating the pissy, shitty
yeah,
air.
they're terrible. Yeah,
But like sometimes when you gotta go, and I hate having to poop in one of those. But
oh, it's the
when
worst.
there's someone
You
on the
know,
stall next to you and you're just going, I just never understand how people have no inhibitions with being loud.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Or
just can't.
I can't either. I'd be terribly embarrassed. And you know what's the worst? When you have to like, I couldn't actually do it one of them multiple stall one, but sometimes you're in a restaurant or something, and you have to wait until someone comes out the one
Oh yeah,
bathroom,
yeah, yeah.
and you're standing outside there, and then they come out and you do the little nod. It's like the little nod means you've been in there doing a poo. I think I'm in there doing a poo too.
Yeah, and the little nod is like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I could do about the smell.
Yeah, it's and you go in there and the seat's warm. It's
Oh, it is just, yeah.
You see, it brings me back to the point I raised on one of the previous podcasts about pissing outside. Why do we
I
deny
think that was
ourselves
their
that?
first one, was it? I'm not
Yeah,
sure. Or yeah.
yeah.
It's great.
Now,
So
now pooing outside's a different story. That's a different story. Like I'm
I
not going to
haven't
go to
done
that
that in a
extreme.
long time. But I remember when young, when you used to go down through the fields and you were having the crack for the day and you were gone, and sometimes you had to do a poo and use a leaf. That was just what you
Yeah,
did, and
it
that
happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
It does, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, public toilets, oh my God, absolutely. Like, and the funny thing is, right, as bad as they are, you can never find one when you want one, and there's not enough of them.
Yes,
You,
very true.
yeah, as much as you hit, like, do you remember the ones that were around College Green in Dublin, like years ago? They were underground.
No,
They're
no, I don't
still
remember them.
there in the median, in the middle of the ground. Just well, maybe when they were building the Lewis, they maybe got rid of it. I know they boarded them up or whatever, but like they were vile, absolutely. And I remember Dad bringing me into one. Like he obviously had to go or whatever, and like just when I was young, knowing this was creepy. This is like where bad stuff happens, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but it's funny. You like, yeah, you never have one. When you need one, and when you use it, you're grossed out.
You
So
don't want to.
if it's
Yeah,
like a festival, you can never get a free stall when you need one, and when you have to use it, you're like, "Ugh."
it's horrendous. Yeah, manky
Yeah,
stuff. Manky
yeah. It's
stuff.
been it's been a funny one, but I am still surprised though. So you're telling me, right? So you're able to get in and out without touching anything, right? Actually, you can
That's
pee without touching your
Oh
dick
yeah, but I don't
as
have a
well.
problem
You
with it.
can
Touch.
you can just
But
drop the
I'm
jocks
not
and it.
afraid. I'm not afraid. I know that. That's. I mean, come on. Like, you telling me you're not fucking sitting there scratching your bollocks, like that you don't from time to time touch your own penis, John. Like it's.
I'm touching right now.
So
No,
like that.
I just
I
love
don't have a
I
problem
could
with that.
just
Like
see
that.
you walking out, right? And someone looking at you going, you didn't wash your hands. You're like, it's
I
clean. I
know.
had a shower at 8 this morning.
I know. That's the worst part. It's a shame. So sometimes, like it'll like there's the more I think about it, there's so many variables to this, which is the amazing thing about the human mind that we go through all these things and we process stuff like that. But
Yeah.
there are many different scenarios that can happen. So the dream scenario is uh you could like one of those open door policies, where there's like,
Oh no,
just
you
like
don't want you don't want the door opening when you're
no,
in there.
no, I don't mean like that. I mean like where there's like a corridor and it splits left and right, and there's no doors, and so like women on the left and so and like in Jervis Street, it's like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like that. You just go in, so you can go in, and then you can go in, do your business. You don't have to touch anything apart from your own
I know what you
business.
mean. It's like a series of angled corridors, so you don't
Yeah,
have to
yeah, yeah.
pull open a door to actually leave the
Now,
jacks. Like, yeah, yeah.
and then what you can do is when you get to a safe point, like and then you can wash your hands at somewhere when it's safe. Like, you know what I mean? But like that doesn't always happen. Then after that, you're going to have to go into it's honestly, it's the touching of the things in there would make me want to wash my hands the most. So it's like,
Yeah,
sometimes you get the occasion when you get the door where you can like give it one of these, which is I'm on a audio thing where
yeah,
so I'm my elbow with a
yeah,
jumper on it. I can open
yeah,
the door with
yeah,
that,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
have to
yeah.
touch my hands, which is fine. And then sometimes you go in there and it's just you and some other guy, and the shame is too much. So like obviously you have to
Yeah,
you have to have
yeah,
to wash your hands.
when you really have to go, but like I try and be as quiet as possible. But some people, they're just it doesn't matter. Like I don't know how. And I remember being in the toilets in Dundrum and coming out, and someone just happened to come out a couple of stalls down because they're so big. There's like 10 stalls beside each other or whatever, and someone came down or came out more or less at the same time as me when I was washing my hands because I wash my hands, not like everyone, but
I do
and
wash my
he
hands.
oh, sorry, did you think I was talking about you? I'm just saying some people don't. But he just washed one hand, so he kept one hand away and just turned on the tap and washed that one hand, soaped it up and washed it, and I was like,
That's
that
really odd.
I it's weird, right? So it's obviously the hand he used to wipe his arse, right? But it just felt weird. There's just something really weird about that, and I was grossed out by that, and I don't know why. But it made sense, really. I was like, well, your other hand's not dirty, but you still
Yeah.
touch the door. So I don't know. It just didn't make sense. I was like, just scrub your two hands. Ugh.
Yeah, yeah, just cover your two hands. And that's like, like 9 times out of 10, that would be what needs did. But like, and obviously, your hands get clean then straight away after. But then, right, thinking about it further is like, so if you wash your hands in one of those, so if the dream scenario is one of automated ones. You know, where you just wave your hand under the thing. You don't
Yeah.
have to do anything. I mean, that's fucking
Yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
you're
The
you're
tap
you're
like
winning
and
there.
all that where yeah, yeah.
But when you have to twist the tap, like unless you leave that tap running, you're leaving there with infected hands
Yeah,
because
or
you
the
have
ones where you have to press down and it literally shoots up straight away, and so you
yeah
have to hold it
yeah
down. It's like so
yeah multiple
counterintuitive.
times I have to touch it now. I'm getting all the germs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever go to a really like fancy like bathroom in like a hotel or something like that? They can be fun. You know, like I was in
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
I was in
I
one
don't
once
like the ones
and
where there's someone in there to give you the hand thing. I'm like, going,
job.
no,
What?
I've just had a monster shit. You're sitting in the air. You know what I did, and you have to be pleasant and hand me a hand paper towel napkin thing
I
so I can dry my hands. And I don't have any coins to give you.
yeah. Like your man in the nightclubs years ago. They probably still
Oh,
have them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where all every aftershave is the same cheap one rebottled.
Yeah,
Yeah. Would you use it?
yeah.
Actually, here we go. Would you use a train or sorry, the toilet on the train? You know, with the curvy doors that are really big and they're
Yeah.
automatic,
They're-
automated. So like
yeah, I
you can
mean,
press a
I have
button. I
to.
just
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, but I just don't because they're so far away. It's not like if it started opening, you could grab it and stop it. Like you literally can't do anything. If you're in a rush hour train and some malicious little shit has pressed the emergency open button on you, and you're mid sentence, right? So you
Yeah.
can't jump up, right? That's my biggest fear. So I will
uh,
hold it on a train journey.
oh gosh, yeah.
Number
No,
one's
no.
fine because your back is to it anyway. But
You're
number
like, oh, I'm
two,
busy. Yeah. No, I mean number
yeah,
two.
no, I
Yeah.
just no.
I do remember
Oh,
getting the train back from Galway once. I went to college in Galway. I remember one of the lads I went to college with trying to hide in the jacks for the whole train journey because he didn't have money for a ticket.
oh yeah, done that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And do you remember when it was the red, the kind of reddy orangey kind of trains, and you could open the window and the door. It was a man. It was like a window that you
Oh,
flap down. We used to
that
love.
kind of intercity train. That one was it?
No, no, it was a proper. Well, I mean, I did. All I can think of is the
No, it
one
was called.
from.
I think didn't it say intercity on the
Yes, it
side of
did.
it? Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was like kind of orangey red, and we used to hide in the toilet, so we wouldn't have to pay for a ticket. And then we would, when we kind of got into Dublin and the dart was flying, we would open the window and stick our head out and our hands out to try and grab it. Like Jesus, when I think of it. I mean, we
Bloody
probably
hell.
weren't close, but like the speed the dart goes by, like, and we were country bumpkins. This is like the best thing ever, you know?
Oh my God, fucking hell, yeah.
I know, yeah, yeah. Oh, that was good. Yeah. Oh, the times we had.
You can't be a good train journey. I'm a big fan of a train journey, I must say. Like,
I like it. Yeah, I commuted on a train for years. I did about 6 to 7 hours a day, depending on per day, commuting, and it was fun and relaxing and interesting. And you see all sorts of comical stuff, and then all sorts of arseholes as well, acting the maggot. And but you kind of get to know people as well. Uh, even just a
especially if you're
nod,
commuting.
how are you? Like you're the same people all the time, and you know, if something funny happens, you do that look. We're like, oh Jesus, look at your man, or you know, it's funny even though you don't know these people. And I often wonder if I
Yeah,
commuted now at those times, would I still see the same people?
yeah.
Like a
What
sad
do you think
life.
about what do you think about right? So here's a funny one quirk of things that happen in the world. Is like this happened to me once on a train, a busy Dublin commuter train.
Right.
Um, and you know, like I'm quite tall, as you know, and but I should presume it's happening. But you know, like when you're jammed up in the train, right? Like, and there's someone
Yeah,
standing there.
you're jammed up in the train. Yeah, go on.
You
You
know,
mean
you're done.
when the train is packed?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And there's someone like, and they're like standing in front of you, and they're on their phone, right? And like, you cannot, like, you know, you at some stage you're going to see what they're doing on their phone. Do you know what I mean? Like, and
Well,
you try.
only if you try and look.
No, but no, but
No,
you
I
try,
know
but
you can't not look. I know,
you
I
can't
know,
not
I
look
know, I know.
you know, yeah. I remember like once being on a train and there's a lad standing in front of me on the phone, and obviously I ended up looking at his phone because he's in front of me and try not to. But like,
But you're tall, so you're looking down his shoulder, and he doesn't
yeah,
realize
yeah.
it. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what he was doing, but like maybe he was very nervous or something, the poor devil. But he just kept going in and out of a sentence on his phone and just doing the same thing. Like he kept going in and out of apps and just opening and closing them in the settings on the phone. And I remember just thinking, be like, "Would you not just put the phone away?" Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just
That's because he was trying to read a message and knew you were looking at it. So he was just reading it word for word. Close, read the next word, close. That fucker's looking at it over his shoulder. I love that you didn't even realize that. He doesn't want you to fucking read the message.
for an hour. I just wanted them to
That's
finish
literally
it.
what was going on. You're like, geez, he must have some nervous disposition on.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
You'll never tell that story the same ever again.
Yeah.
It is funny though. You can see what people on the train, the long journey trains. Above you, the rack, where you store your luggage and jackets and all that kind of thing. It's glass, so you can see the reflection of what's going on beneath it. Like, and you see all sorts. Like I remember people like getting very, very hot and heavy, and you can't not look then because you're like, I'm looking straight on. There's nothing else to look at, and you see people swiping on Tinder and all that kind of thing. It's like it's
that's way more advanced snooping than I'm doing now. The chap was in front of me. I wasn't working out the angles of the windows to get a good look at
him. No, but you should have, because I want to know what the message was now.
Here's one. Do you remember, you know, when smartphones came in, and like maybe this was the thing with phones as well. I don't think it was, but you know, like, if you're waiting somewhere, right? I remember the first time, like, noticing and feeling the need. I'm trying to say is waiting somewhere, and the first time that you're waiting somewhere and it wasn't okay to just be waiting, you had to go on your phone because you felt nervous. You had to go on your phone or something like that. Isn't that mad? That's the thing.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to think of the old Nokia 3210 or whatever, and I was kind of like, well, just ended up playing Snake. Hours and hours and hours of endless Snake. That's what we would have done. Because you couldn't text at first, and then when texting came out, you were fucking delighted. Would have cost like about $2.50 a text, so you weren't sending many of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. I like, we don't just stand around. Actually, that's one thing that rests in my head is people walking and texting at the same time. Right. It's one thing when they're coming towards you because you can see them and you're like, right, they're not looking where they're going. So I need to look at where they're going and where I'm going so we don't hit each other, because it'll inevitably be my fault. Because, you know, could you not see I was looking at my phone and you walked into me, you know? But when someone in front of you is doing something and then they stop suddenly because they can't type and walk at the same time. So you're walking behind them on a busy street, and then some just stops because they need to send this message, and you end up walking into them. I can't stand that. Just look around first. Just look around before you stop. Yeah. It's or in a doorway, coming out of a shop, and they're texting say, I got the custard. Did you get the ice cream? Right. It's fine. You can walk a few
Is
more
that a euphemism?
Yeah. I got the bird's custard. That's a euphemism. Yeah. Like we're gone very rude on our phones, but I suppose that's just what the world is. We all are. But I do, and I mentioned this in the last one as well. Like, my parents are gone mad for phones now, and they're always on the phone. And they used to go mad years ago when we'd show them stuff on our phone and go, look at this funny thing. And now I'd be in the middle of something and they'll show me something. And all I can think of is how it's all just turned and flip-flopped around. And like now they're doing that. And like, I'm not knocking it. It's great. They're getting involved. But it's just funny because years ago, there was a period of, it's rude to be on your phone. Get off your phone. You were embarrassed. You wouldn't do it in front of people. Like, I never would have done it in front of my grandparents or whatever. You know, because it's just like rude and they're not part of it. But now it's like,
I still think
text at the same time.
I still think it is rude.
No, it depends, right? If you're meeting someone and you're waiting for someone else to come along and you're all in a group, then it's kind of like, oh, they're on their way here. I'll tell you know, stuff like that is different. But someone just miles away, like I worked with someone before, and this person was on their phone all the time during meetings. Like, you could see the reflection. No, it wasn't you before you say it. Right. No, but they were always on their phone, like non-stops. And even outside of meetings, when you're talking to them, they were non-stop. And it's like, what could you possibly be doing and saying? Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
no, I
don't
get
get it.
that.
What is going on that
I've had a
I,
shit enough
I,
experience like with that recently. Actually, that's kind of something that's kind of troubling me at the moment. It's wrecking my head, I guess. So it's someone that I know and will be very fairly friendly with, to the point that I'd like visit them. And yeah, and last couple of times when I've been going out there, like they just be like on their phones when I'm in the middle of a conversation, they're going on their phone talking,
yeah.
and I just kind of like,
You're like,
I'm like,
can you not wait until
oh,
I'm
I'm not.
behind you so I can read your message?
Yeah. No, but I was just like, it's just like I kind of thought like we'd kind of move past that, all of us. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it is the general decorum is you're standing in a room and someone's talking to you, just don't go on your phone in the middle of the conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one on one, that makes sense, right? Like
Yeah.
imagine now if you were on
The
your
dick
phone
move.
now during this.
Yeah, because like we all know now that like, you're not paying attention because no one
Yeah,
can really do it. Like you know what I
exactly.
mean? It's,
Exactly.
yeah.
Maybe a lot of people do it as a way of kind of going, I'm not interested in you. Whatever. This is more interesting. Going into the settings and back again is more interesting than dealing
Yeah.
with you. Maybe.
Maybe I should increase my the ring volume by
Yeah.
5%.
But there is, like you're right in your saying, there is a nervousness. There is what's the word I'm looking for? Like a kind of an unease with not having your mind bombarded with stuff. Like I don't, like I get the whole. I'm not good at it, but I get the reason behind the whole mindfulness thing and all that kind of thing because, like, it is just blasted with stuff non-stop,
Yeah, no,
non-stop. Like I could have a TV on, music playing, and on a phone at the same time. That's bananas.
that's insane. The amount of
Uh,
information your brain is processing there, like,
yeah, and none. It's not processing anything at
well,
the same
yeah,
time.
because you're probably completely overwhelmed and overstimulated, and like it leads to all sorts of fucking
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you know? Do you know what? It's funny as well though that there's different like kind of cultures, I'd say, with phone use and stuff like that. Like,
Different kind of what?
like cultures, it depends on where you are. Like, so like I
Ultra,
remember being
ultra.
culture, John. You
Oh,
would be aware of it,
culture.
right?
Sorry, I thought you
It's
said ultras. I was
no
like,
culture, John. It's this.
I'm not even going to pretend I know what that is. Explain it to me.
It's culture is this fancy thing that
That I
no,
know nothing about.
yeah, you would know. Your home expert obviously hasn't reached down that far.
I'm not
Uh,
uncultured because I don't know what that means.
ooh,
You have to have
but like,
culture to be uncultured.
I remember being in Brazil and seeing everyone so this was like 2014, 2015. It's in Brazil. Everyone was on WhatsApp doing voice notes, and I thought this was mad
That is a
because
big Brazilian thing. Yes, it is. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's
and
peaked now.
but this was
yeah,
this was 2014, so you're talking 7 years ago.
they were
No,
ahead of the
more,
curve because now I'm
nine
only
years ago.
recently like seen. Do you know this is actually way fucking easier than texting?
Way easier, way
Yeah,
easier. Like texting, and then as well, and this is the funny thing that like this is such an Irish thing now. Americans do this all the time. You know, like this "Hey Siri, Hey Google" thing.
yeah.
Like they're really comfortable doing that. But I don't know, is it just me or when an Irish person does that? Yes, would you ever fuck off?
I know.
Hey
I feel
Google.
stupid, right? Well, number one, right, we have Siri, and I'm annoyed we do because it's shit. It's just not good. She is not good at all. I way would prefer the oh hey Google thing because I use an Android and it
No,
makes sense.
also
But
shite.
I just it is embarrassing. Siri,
Yeah.
volume up. I'm sorry, I did not. Oh Jesus Christ, Siri, stop. Siri, volume up. This kind of thing. It's like, oh my God. And now, if anyone's listened to this, I've made their Siri go off.
Well, yeah, true, actually. But like Americans, I think
Siri,
are
play
granted that.
fart sounds.
Or I remember working with an American lad, and we were the job we had. We like were traveling around. We were living in the same house for like 6 weeks at a time. So he would like call his girlfriend in America, and he'd walk around the house video calling her, like, and just come into the room
Oh
where we were all having a
no.
chat and be like video calling, hey guys, like what's going on? And we're all like, fuck off, like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
she's not enjoying this. We're not enjoying this. Just hang up.
yeah, yeah.
There's
Like that's
nothing
yeah.
worse. Forced fun. Join in,
Yeah.
guys. Oh no, I can't. I know. I lived with a guy, and he loved to walk onto the Dublin bus when I was in Dublin playing the music. So he would play the music at the bus stop, which was like cringe for me and embarrassing. But then you'd think he'd turn it off, maybe get on the bus. No, same
Oh,
volume.
like play music on his phone.
Yeah, up the stairs, up to the top, sitting at the seat, and I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I get this bus
Oh
journey
god.
alone?
Oh my
Yes, you've got
god.
exceptional taste in music. No,
Well, what sort of music was he listening to?
well, um,
Leonard
very,
Cohen.
very big into the Beatles, which was
Right.
immediately I was like, oh God. Anything, like anything at all. It was like the more obscure, the better, because it meant the taste was better. Do you know what I mean? It was like, and there was no way of saying that's not obscure, that's shite. Do you
Okay.
know?
Yeah. 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 You just don't get. It's like the jazz classical music thing we were talking about before. You just don't get it.
The what thing?
The jazz classical music thing we were
Yeah,
talking about before. Like if you don't like it, it's just because you're not cultured enough. Which you're not because
exactly.
you're from Wexford and your own
That was
culture.
exactly it. It was like, how do you not get this? The Beatles are the best band in the world, and that was it.
Who are the best band in the world,
Well,
Sean?
that's all relative, isn't it? I mean,
It is. Good answer. That's a great
if
answer.
if if you go to, I don't know, like a country that
Idaho.
hasn't, if you go live with the Amish, I'm sure they have the rock stars who are the best band in their world. So it's all relative. There you go.
Is that the Killers?
No, it's the Doobie Brothers. They
They
do be brilliant.
did brilliant. They did
Yeah.
brilliant.
No,
Well,
no.
well,
Look,
no, yeah, that's a big,
I
big,
mean,
big
it's
topic.
like that's
Big topic.
a question that can't be answered, because you say one thing, someone's going to say it's another thing. All I know are bands that I like, and that changes from time to time depending on the mood and what you want to listen to and who you remember. Like I recently remembered a band that I listened to 25 years ago who were it was when I worked in the pub, and a guy lived in Australia for years, and they're an Australian band. I'd never heard of them before, Powderfinger. And they have an album called Odyssey Number Five, and it was just he played it all the time in the pub, and I ended up loving it and being a big fan. And forgot about them, and just remembered them the other day, and went, "Oh my God, I forgot how good this album is," you know. So
And now,
it wasn't
and now you go on Dublin buses playing it loudly.
a fucking damn right. I went up to Dublin, especially. I had no business being there.
Yeah, oh, just that's just Powderfinger, guys. Just
And the
Powderfinger.
best thing is the speakers on the phone nowadays are louder than ever.
Yeah.
It's like a boombox. I'm just walking with my little 6-inch phone on my shoulder. Shut up, John.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So people being rude playing music, that's definitely, yeah. Yeah, I just can't stand music snobbery, to be honest. That's a big pet hate of mine.
Yeah,
People
me
like
too.
what they like, and I like songs, I like bands, I like albums, I like singles. You know, you don't like I like some bands, and some of their albums have been absolute tripe. I like some bands, and I like one song on the album, and the rest I don't like, and that's just, you like what you like. And that's probably what the iTunes culture has done to our life, isn't it? Buy the single, don't get to know the album or the band. That was a
Yeah, that's
big.
a shame, isn't it? That's a shame.
I love albums. I like buying records. If it's a band I like and they bring out a limited edition record, I will buy it. Because
Well, I mean,
usually it
the
comes with a
artist,
T-shirt. I don't have a record player.
but,
I don't. I don't have one.
but, but like the artist has put effort into the track selection, and we know, yada yada yada, where like
Hmm.
the order of the tracks and all that, like so, which you don't get on Spotify or iTunes, whatever. Like
Yeah, I
digital
mean, it's
streaming
getting
service.
better with, you can read about, the tracks and, the bio of the band, and there's links within Spotify, but it's certainly not a cool vinyl you buy that has a cool, I don't know, a clear plastic vinyl inside it and an inlay card, like, and
I feel sorry for CDs. I feel sorry for them. I think that they got a hard rap because
they did, because number one, the cases were shit. Cases just,
yeah, it's
oh my
getting
God, who
brutal.
came up with that design of the tiniest little nubs of plastic that hold it together and then
Yeah.
break?
Do you know
Absolutely.
what? Yeah. Do you know what was the best thing about CDs, right? It was just me sat on top of the cases. I never realized it. Best thing about it was when you're in the music shop scrolling through the CDs.
Yeah,
Remember remember that? That was deadly.
yeah,
And then
yeah, yeah,
you'd find some album that shouldn't be in a section and it was unreal or something like that. Like
yeah,
there used to be a great shop in France. We used to go on holidays in France. It was called FNAC. And I just remember they had like just amazing CDs in there because it was all like it's like obviously there was tons of French music, but they had random stuff of like, music that we listened to, like
yeah,
which they
yeah.
call international, like, and it was actually French music is it actually amazes me
It's très bon.
it's no, but I love that they've got like like that they've got a huge, massive French music scene. Do you know what I mean? It's all in French,
Yeah, and
and it's like
it's very like in
it's,
France. Yeah, you have to.
I love that French music's all in French.
Yeah.
Aren't they
No, but
great,
that's the
lads?
thing. They push it really well. So no
Yeah,
matter there's a isn't there a set amount of actual French music and bands that you have to play when you're a radio station in
oh, I
France.
didn't know that.
So there's a percent you have to play of French music. So if you're a band, like imagine someone like Daft Punk would have been non-stop on the radio. They would have made a killing. I mean, I know they did anyway, but especially because they're French, they would
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
had to get the airplay. Like, so you can imagine. Yeah, yeah, and it's so varied because it's such a cultural hotspot. You've got like French, you've got English, you've got Arabic. You got like there's a big culture of the rap is really big in France, actually.
Some of it's really good as well. Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
there used to be when we were on holidays, there I used to listen to Skyrock. That was the name of the French
What was
hip hop station.
Sky
Skyrock.
Skyrock? Wow.
Skyrock. No, it was like a French hip hop radio station that we used to just play French hip hop. I remember being like 15 or 16. I was big into hip hop when I was a teenager. Like so, I
Did you
remember
dress like a hip hopper?
I did. I had baggy jeans and Timberland
Did you the
boots and
X
stuff.
Works jeans? Do you have the X Works jeans and the big mad skater runner things that were so heavy to walk in?
No, I never had the big skate runner thing. I had Timberland boots that I like would wear out. Like when I was going out, I'd wear the big Timberland boots and then, but yeah, then like jeans.
They're just in actually.
I know, yeah, yeah. No,
Just in Tim.
hey, but yeah, the French music is good. I used to
Oh,
like,
people, if you could just see his face with that joke.
yeah. I was just like,
Oh,
oh
wonderful,
god.
wonderful.
I always remember one song. I don't know what it was, but I remember because I was obviously doing French for my junior year or whatever. So I remember like being able to understand this one bit because obviously like French rap, they're going very fast and probably
Mm,
speaking French slang, which I didn't really understand.
yeah.
But there was when it was like the chorus was like "C'est la vie dans la banlieue," which is like this is life in the suburbs or
Right.
maybe the banlieue or the banlieue could have been like I don't know, I can't remember the banlieue. Is there anyone French email us in? Is the banlieue the suburbs or like the ghetto or whatever it is?
I'll ask
Yeah.
my wife, or she'll tell me. She's fluent in French, so it's fine. She'll sort
Oh
that for
yeah.
us. Yeah.
If either of us were cool, we just go, "Hey Siri, what does?"
Yeah, with chat GPT. Why can't I say that? And
Right,
did you remember Jola Taxi? Who was that? What was her name? Um,
Joe me text that one.
Jola Taxi. Oh, didn't she go out with
Was
Johnny
that
Depp?
was
No,
that Pitbull?
no, no.
I think we're thinking
Hold
different
on.
songs.
Jola Taxi. I'm googling it because Vanessa Paradis. There you
Oh
go.
yeah, she went out like that. Yeah,
Did she? Yeah, yeah. I knew there was
yeah.
something there. Yeah,
Pitbull did not.
yeah. No. Well, we don't know. It
Maybe,
definitely
maybe
didn't
they.
come up in the trial.
Actually, I wouldn't put it past either of them on a bit of a mad night out. In fairness,
Did you follow that trial?
not really. No, I mean you couldn't really avoid it because it's fucking. I
Yeah,
was on TikTok at the time, so you
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
avoid it.
Yes, it was ever,
Yeah.
but I did. I watched the cases every day. I was fascinated by it. fascinated. Like, because again, with the law thing and my interest, and I really thought I just found it fascinating. Just the whole process of it was great.
Well, yeah. So yeah, I want to learn more about the law thing. That really interests me that you're interested so much in law. Like it just because it's just I find law to be I know like I find it mad that you just get born in a place and there's a massive book of rules and you never really most people never actually know what the rules are. You're just kind of hearsay, I'm told. Well, can't murder someone. Jesus. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like it should be something we're all interested in more, I think. But it's cool that you have an actual active interest in
Well,
it.
I mean, I don't know if it's active, but I certainly am interested when I see a court case or something like that, and if I'm signing a contract, I will read it, which is ridiculous.
Like
And
terms and conditions, like
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was recently able to get out of a contract uh, very recently because it was let's just say it was a very bad internet provider, and I was insistent that it was very bad, and they were not insistent, and I won because of my insistence and my definitions of terms in the terms and conditions and my knowledge of what they're supposed to provide me. Because I
it's
just
like a
Googled it and searched,
superpower.
it was, do you know what? It was so satisfying. It was so satisfying to go, I want to get out of this. It's shit. No, yes, no, yes. Okay, bye, and not have to pay any fees. It was great. So if anyone needs help on that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
John
Email.
Bird law at gmail.com. No, don't email that. Someone probably owns that and it's not me. Just the email to headisrect at gmail.com.
Do you know what I just love? It's like it's like some guy who's like an expert in bird law, like the law
Yeah,
of the birds.
like in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Charlie. Yeah, bird law. Oh my God, bird law. Oh yes, yes, yes. That's actually a topic we're going to bring up on the next one is shows that you're watching, and we'll try and get
I
some
thought you were going to say bird law.
insight. Well, bird law as well. I mean, look, the thing about bird law and solicitors in bird law, they're always bound to succeed.
That was good. That was good.
Oh, yes, yes,
That was
yes,
good.
yes. It was okay. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was
No.
no 69
No.
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 bird law, French music, rude phone use, commuting, washing hands. I think it's probably time to wash our hands of this podcast or this
Yeah.
episode, not the podcast, the episode.
I,
Yeah.
that's like the last time you're like,
Yeah.
his podcast date and numbers. Probably time to watch it.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm just saying
Are
what
you
the
not
people
enjoying this?
I'm saying what the people want to hear. This is what the people
Yeah.
want to hear.
But I'm gonna go eat a scone.
No, I'm gone. No, I'm gone. What are you talking about?
That's it for the I'm just telling you that's what I'm gonna do when the podcast ends. I've got a scone, I bought your own duns,
Oh, okay,
and
right. Well, I'm going to
and I'm
leave you.
gonna go eat.
I'm going to
No,
leave
don't
you. So
even
you're just going. Don't eat it until it's gone.
I
We have been head wrecked, and I hope my head is certainly a little bit less wrecked. Is yours?
a little bit less actually.
Good, and I hope our listeners' heads are a little bit less wrecked. Again, you can contact us. We're coming out every week. Contact us on headisrect@gmail.com, Twitter @head_rect, Instagram @head_rect. I've been JP.
I've been CT.
And you've been amazing. Bye, 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 bye. Say bye. He never says
Bye,
bye.
bie, bye, bye, bye. Yeah, because I never have a chance. Bye, bye, bye. Look.